Okay, hola everyone. We will be continuing Falling Yandere Taehyung X Video by Solari. What are you doing to me? Those were the exact words I heard as I drifted off to a deep and peaceful slumber. As the girl, Avaricios, was so riveted by, had her barriers down, sleeping, he couldn't help but feel a greed to the feelings she gave him. She made his heart race, his hands ready, made breathing much harder, and his hands ached to touch her in any and if not every way possible. He didn't know if the unknown feeling she created upon him was right or wrong, but what he did know was that he couldn't help but want more of that feeling. It made him feel alive, and a feeling he hadn't experienced in a long time. Happiness. She made him feel like he was, ironically, in heaven. Slight problem was, he just didn't know how to pursue her. He had as to no clue as to how to spend more time with her, since after all, he wanted to know more of her, to get more of her. What is he doing to me? He whispered again. No matter what, he couldn't wrap it around his head. He was feeling something for a mere human girl. But not just any human girl, no, this was Solari he was talking about. Her subtle smiles and the twinkles in her eyes were enough to drive him crazy. Her nervous nature around him amused him, but yet he found it so enthralling. Her cautious stance around him, it irritated him, yet drove him to feel a sense of lust to keep her in place. It was as if she was begging him to keep her by his side. Avaricious' eyes opened, a look of what would have come off as a look of infatuation with dark and greedy motives behind his iris to others, but to him it was just the feeling of enchantment and curiosity. Avaricious was so innocent to the feeling he didn't know of, yet so unknowingly dark. His blood slowly crept away, while he removed himself from Solari. He held the set girl at arm's length, observing her, taking in every detail of her face. She looks like an angel, he thought. He then lightly chuckled at the irony, blissfully happy as his hands asked their way to caress her face. He glanced down without thinking, and his breath hastened at the sight of her lips. Having a subtle sense of urge to touch them, he did so, but not with his fingers, no, with his own lips. He didn't know as to why he did that accent in the first place. It felt as a mere instinct of his, yet he didn't question it. It almost felt natural to do so. So, Solari lay asleep, being unknowingly kissed by Avaricious, and as he stopped, the fire within his eyes only burned more. He was sure that he wanted to feel her lips again, to feel her lips and more. Scared by his sudden carnal desires, he thought it was best to not do so, not knowing if he would have full control once he would have started again. Sighing in disappointment as time was passing by in the dark forest, he decided it was time to take her to the cave he was staying at before she went ahead on her own. Of course, that is, once he waked up. So Avaricious took Solari to his cave, laying her gently on the ground. He stared at her form on the ground of his home for a few moments before deciding to lay down with her, hesitantly. His hands shaking, he placed them down gently on her waist as he pulled her back, facing his chest. Wrapping arms around her slightly shivering form, he spread his wings out before placing them down on top of both of them. All of a sudden, he felt a sudden urge in his nether regions. His eyes widened as he breathed his once again. His eyes became clouded with the also unknown, addictive thing to him: lust, desire, but he didn't know that yet. He decided to ignore it, his best as his wings were shielding them from the cold like a blanket. He nuzzled his neck, breathing in her faded but still the scent. A smell, how could he describe it? Like a baby? A soft baby scent? A baby? He repeated. It fit her, and not knowing why he decided upon calling her that, he continued, "My baby," he thought endearingly. That night, Ephesius couldn't sleep a wink. His mind on the girl in front of him and all the new emotions she gave him. He didn't know, but he was slowly falling, deep in love each moment. Number 8. A warm feeling. What was it? It was soft and warm and moving. It was dark. I lay there. God knows wherever I was, waiting and building up the energy to finally open my eyes. I did so. I found myself looking ahead to a dark dead end. My heart instantly stopped racing, but I was left panicked and confused as to why I was here. Where was I? What happened last night? Oh, that's right. Ephesios happened. I sighed, irritated, and tore on my attention. What? Sedity kicked down. To where the warm thing came from, to an arm around me. Wait. What? An arm? An arm? Around me? I stood up and hastily turned towards the beholder of the said arm. Of course, there, in all his glory, lay Ephesius. I searched in his merely surprised eyes on any sort of indication that he did something to me or whether any embarrassment at all. Nope, none. As we stood silent for moments, staring into each other's eyes, I couldn't help but suddenly blush and became frustrated. At the current situation, I then turned my staring to a girl. How dare he bring me here without my consent? While Solari now stared at him with anger and irritation, Ephesius still turned from one of adoration to amusement. Solari quickly noticed this and turned away, huffing in anger. Ephesius, his eyes widened a bit, while the previous twinkle of amusement in his eyes and his smoke faded into one of a frown. Ephesius slowly sat up, gulped, and became nervous as to what the girl would say. He hesitated before questioning her. Yes? He was as she turned away with a cold look in her eyes that made him wince. What did you do to me last night? Ephesius looked away before returning his gaze on her. I just took you to where I'm staying until you woke up. Lyle, I raised a eyebrow at that, signaling for the whole truth. Ephesius smoked. What? Don't believe me? I narrowed my eyes. Why did you take me back, huh? I sassily accused him while crossing my arms. He deadpanned at me. If you haven't noticed, I have huge black wings attached to my back. Oh, right. He has a point. I stared at him before letting out a sigh. That better be all to it. I watched as he still advancing towards me. My eyes widened before I could even think straight or run. He hovered over me, holding me down by my wrist. This great, typical. But what are you doing? I yelled without meaning to. Then again, he took me by surprise. I watched as he intensely looked down at me. While I started breathing hard, he slowly leaned to my eyes. I stiffened as his breath blew right beside me. Do you want me to, baby? He asked with a husky dark tone. Huh? Baby? What a mysterious prick. I started struggling against his tight hold. Let go me, you maniac! He let go, suckling. While I jutted up, cautious, he stared at me before sighing. I was just playing. His amusement had died down, seeing my scared state I was in. Frowning, he glanced downwards towards the ground. I'm sorry. My ears perked up at that. My now restless form becoming more calm, I assured him to see if he meant it. He did. Okay, just take me back before I go myself. Disappointment. His eyes couldn't help but contain disappointment. He was itching to have her stay, to talk more, to touch some more, even if it was the slightest of soda brushing. Then it'll do. Avricio's frown deepened each moment of silence before he turned his gaze to one of the broad frown dark infatuation. A not so good one. With the aura around him becoming more dark, Solari became more cautious, itching to stand up. She almost did so before the clearly upset male in front of her spoke up. Solari, stay down. The sad girl furrowed her eyebrows, ignoring his clear order. She was as she also got up, her heart raced, as without warning he grabbed her and came down to the ground with her. She panicked and started thrashing to get away from him, but he was too strong. She never thought this would happen, but she actually felt him at this moment. She always saw him as harmless. Did you now? But who knows what he was planning to do to her this moment. She gulped and tried to back away, settled into the ground as Avrixia's hand came over towards her seat. She didn't want to look at that look in his eyes, that look she had still a quick glance at. A quick glance was all it took for all red alarms inside her head to go off. He looked, screamed, danger. His look screamed dark. His look screamed evil. And most of all, once he saw many times, but thought of it as something to brush off, a look of infatuation. He turned her head towards him, forcing her. To look at his not so innocent eyes. At least not innocent anymore. What was he thought to be? Solari, once you leave this place, once you leave this trip you're on, every week you'll come travel to see me. Until I was satisfied. Got it? My breath hissed. No, this couldn't be. The hold on my wrist tightened and I winced. Then once he saw the inflicted pain, he stopped. Once again, he turned my head towards his and made me look into his eyes, but before they reached, I sucked them. Got it? I didn't want to, but my body did so without permission. He watched as I nodded my head, with my eyes shut. Before I could even comprehend, I felt lips on mine. My eyes flashed open at that same moment. The fear on my lips vanished. Just as I watched Fabricio's turn into the same phoenix Riley and I had seen. I stared at it, at him, in utter shock as after a moment of flapping his wings, he let out a noise and flew out the cave. Well, Solari liked it or not, Fabricius had pulled his move on her. Number 9. I stayed still. Seconds turned into minutes. Waiting for what? Oh, that's right. I was waiting for reality to kick in. Had he really? I was left flabbergasted there. Wide eyes. My mother always warned me of stranger danger. Said I was always a bit too naive for my own good, and that I needed to not trust some people too easily. I mean, I wasn't. I didn't. But so why? Why would I? Why had I trusted Agricius just like that? It was his good looks, I tried to convince myself. Wait, no. The way he looked at me. Wait, never mind. Definitely not. He definitely always had a strange gleam in his eyes, so even then, even after noticing small things, why? A moment of silence passed, and sudden realization, I poked up a bit, my eyes widening, glistening with disbelief. Letting out a small breath, a few moments passed till I came to realize, oh, that's right. It was the way he seemed like a lost child. I looked at Fabricius, not like he was danger, but rather like he was a lost soul, almost seeming like a lost, innocent child in the middle of nowhere. My fist balling up, I closed my eyes in anguish. I raised my hand to tap myself in my head. Stupid, stupid, stupid! But was I really a fool, or was I simply just being friendly? I mean, I definitely hadn't given him the wrong idea. That's right, I hadn't. So then, maybe he needed love? Well, that could definitely be a reason, but I wasn't the best choice then. I wanted to at least have fun here on this trip, not becoming some fallen angel's damn object of affections. But I had to try, had to find a way to convince him to revoke whatever spell he put upon me, make him realize what love really was, and maybe then still continue to meet with him? How tragic. Even after what he's done to me, I feel the need to show him kindness. Because human or not, we all need kindness even after sinning, and especially when you're a lost soul. After a long walk that took about half an hour, I stopped by a tree for a moment to catch my breath. Man, I need to exercise more, I bitterly thought. Hearing the sound of water flowing loudly, I poked up. But should I? Deciding to give myself a small rest, I followed the sound to find a stream of water. I knelt down to splash some water over my arm and face. I stared at scenery ahead of me, feeling a little less on edge. Pretty, I whispered out loud with a small smile on my lips. Before standing up, I heard the sound of leaves crunching a few feet behind me. My eyes widened as my heart practically jumped out of my chest and my breath hastened, but I stood up and turned around hastily. My eyes met with, wait, what, huh? Nothing. My eyes widened. Okay, Solari, keep calm. It was probably just a squirrel or something, looking around to make sure no one was watching me. I counted to 3 in my head before spinning like my life was on the line. Girls know it probably was. After a few minutes, I saw the familiar campsite, thick the heavens. I released a long, heavy breath I'd been keeping in. Breath that had made it safe and sound. Looking around, I noticed the sunset seemed to already have risen. Noticing no one had noticed my absence, I was relieved. I slowly and quietly walked to my designated tent. And although I was dirty from all the sweat, my mind had been too exhausted to cope with the stuff happening. As soon as my head next to my best friend on the floor, I fell into slumber. Not knowing Abrixia's phoenix form was eyeing me my eyes. Not knowing Abrixia's phoenix form was eyeing my tent quietly. And for now, that's all, people, until the writer decides to update her story. How do you like this story, actually? Now, my next video it'll be me recording myself doing that Hunger Games simulator thing, or me continuing that other story I was reading, The Blue Rose, Sugar X Reader story by Lunatic. Anyway, click that like if you enjoyed watching. If you want to make sure you don't miss a single video from me, click that subscribe, and then click the bell so you'll be notified every time. Well, goodbye.